Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Yes, I'm sitting in the studio. Well, not my studio. There's a virtual studio which we're using right now because Anand's using the main studio to record some videos, which he's trying to get done because he's leaving to Tiruvannamalai for an event. So because of that, he requires the studio. I'm sitting here with the editors in the editor's suite using one of their Macs. Just have a quick conversation with you guys because it's getting second part of the day and it's getting late. And if I don't get this done here, you guys won't have a Be Rich video. And I didn't want you to miss out. So what did I want to talk about today is the Medium article which I posted about, which is about the two-wheeler market in India and the main companies which are participating in the two-wheeler market, and if you should be considering any of these companies currently. So I hope you have the time to go read that article which I have posted on Medium. That is more in depth, and I've covered a lot more in that article than I'll be able to talk about here because it's just a short video. But I just want to briefly touch about the main parts of the article and leave you with my opinion. India's economic growth has been very good. It's been very robust over the last few years. And last year, though there was a recession expected in the US and globally, things were supposed to be very hard. But somehow, globally, the economies have macroeconomic signals and the headwinds have blown such that things are not looking so bad. And India is one of the leading GDP growths it's had. Comparing it to peers and other leading economies, India's GDP has grown quite rapidly in comparison. And the inflation challenges still persist. There is still inflation in the domestically and internationally, and the central banks across the globe have paused the rate hikes because they feel the inflation has come under control. It's not rising dramatically like once it was in the UK, but it's come under control and it's holding steady. While there's people who believe that the central bank will start cutting interest rates, as of now, the central bank has not given indication they would. There has been a bit of alarm in the US about the commercial loans in the US. There's been a tremendous slowdown in the commercial loans taken by businesses. Usually, that means companies are not borrowing money as much. If they're not borrowing money as much, that means they're not expanding their business. If they're not expanding, job creation also goes down. So, will that trigger the central bank into cutting interest rates? We do not know. Most of the time, the central bank is always chasing. It's never proactive and moves ahead. It's very rarely done that in history. So even in this case, I expect central bank to move slowly. That being said, the two-wheeler market in India is robust, and the young population in India is growing and it's been expanding, and the middle class has been growing and expanding at a very fast clip. And there's a huge digitization which is happening in India, and there's an advancement in technology which is happening in India. You see more internet and mobile technology proliferation happening in India, which is all good news. So this means more and more people will be moving into the next strata in society. And one of the first things people do when they come from a lower income into a middle income is they look at least investing into a two wheeler. And that is why the two wheeler market, I feel, is something which you can look at. And there's potential for some great growth in the foreseeable future, at least 5 to 10 years is what I feel. The main thing has to be yes, I'm not touched the small companies, I've only looked at Bajaj and Hero and Escher. Escher, the main reason I'm looking at it is because of the Royal Enfield in their portfolio. So Hero, Bajaj are already very keen on getting into the EV segment, and that's where the future is right now. And there's a huge demand for good quality EV two wheelers in India. And Hero has made strategic investments in companies who are the proponents of EV technology in India. They're very keen on bringing those companies into the fold, and maybe they'll do it through a takeover or 100% ownership. We'll have to wait and watch how all of this plays out. While Bajaj is doing something in house and trying to create, and while Escher has the iconic Royal Enfield and what they plan to do with it, how they plan to bring that to the EV segment is something we have to wait and watch because there's a huge subculture behind the Royal Enfield and has a large market segment on that class. The funny thing is, each of these companies have a specific area in the market share which they own, which they sit and dominate on, and each one is different. Where Royal Enfield is sitting, not much competition is there from these two. Where Hero is sitting, there's not much competition from these two. And where Bajaj is sitting, there's no competition from the other two. So they seem to be dominating each other's markets, segments of markets, and they're doing it very well. And we'll have to see how EV plays out into this. As far as market performance is concerned, Bajaj, Hero, and what we call Escher, are performed very well last year, and they've been some of them are quite heavily overvalued at this point of time. And in terms of innovation, each company, like I said, is looking to make strategic investment into EV and trying to see how to bring electric bike into the fold. The main thing to worry about is financial health. But if you look at the financial health of all three companies, they're very profitable. Their debt is under control, and they're spending a lot of money on R&D, which gives value investor. Those are all good signs, and the future of EV in India is also looking very promising. So when you take all this into consideration, the latest industry dynamics, the company strategies, as a value investor, if we're looking at the long-term potential based on the technology advancements and the global market dynamics, and what consumers, Indian consumers, are looking at in terms of preferences, these three companies have potential to do well. I wouldn't say right now to venture into any of these companies right now, but there are going to come opportunities in the future, probably during the time of the budget, and because we only have an interim budget because they have an election cycle this year, and definitely during the election cycle or post-election cycle, they may become, we might be in there for some market correction, or if the American elections turns a little topsy-turvy, you can expect some correction coming again during that time. So there's this year there's going to be ample opportunities for value investors to pick stocks they've been eyeing at. So I would like you guys to consider the two-wheeler segment and analyze these companies and see which one or which two or three you would like, and keep them in your watch list, and keep them in your consideration at the time of the correction. And if it makes sense, the pricing at that point of time, I would strongly urge you to think about sipping a little bit of coffee and dip it into these things. So thanks for watching the video today. I hope you found it informative and entertaining as always. And I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.